The run's on top. Oh! Teammates.
Around they go in a hard crash. Kyle Busch.
Larson.
Caution is out.
Bubba Wallace is in this. Austin Cindric. Hard hit by Kyle Busch. Caution's out.
McDowell is first to the line, but will have to go back to the moment of caution, which ends the race. Brad Keselowski is climbing out. He's okay. Joey Logano we see taking off the gloves and the steering wheel. Light. That time stamps all video to determine the order of finish at the moment of caution.
Huge run. Went for it. Joey was obviously had to block.
The question is, where did that caution come out? Chase Elliott pulls ahead of Michael McDowell.
Oh, look at the run he got right there, though.
McDowell, the run on the outside with a little help from Hamlin.
All right, we know the caution was out there. We saw some caution lights where Michael McDowell and the three of Austin Dillon pulled ahead of Chase Elliott.
And Michael McDowell from Glendale, Arizona, for Bob Jenkins Front Row Motorsports, has won the Daytona 500.
How about that?
Man.
That's a huge win for Michael McDowell and that team. Doesn't get any bigger than this.
And a huge crash for everybody else.
Busch with a push from Boyer on the inside.
Oh,
no,
Benedetto! And everybody.
Good.
Oh,
no. Are you kidding me? This is big. Wow. But it.
Boy, it just reminds me of the Clash. Same type of carnage that we saw where these cars were going everywhere. A lot of damage as they all got to turn 3.
Well, that ruined everything.
I mean, sometimes I'm speechless. I'm speechless.
You know, there's just those feel-good stories that build in a race. And boy, Matt DiBenedetto was doing such an amazing job.
Oh man, I tell you what.
So let's go to the Goodyear blimp as drivers climb out or try to make their way back to pit road. And look at the outside lane, DiBenedetto and Paul Menard.
Yeah, Paul Menard giving a pretty nice push down the back straightaway to DiBenedetto. Gets to his right rear. Oh yeah, that just starts to turn him a little bit.
Got him in the right rear.
And then he collects Menard.
Yeah.
Logano just misses it, but the whole outside lane and half the inside pile up.
And this is exactly what we were just talking about. At this stage in the race, you can start to taste victory in the Daytona 500. You want to see that checkered flag, and you'll do anything to get it, and you know you've got to be more aggressive with those bump drafts.
It looks exactly like the Clash. I mean, all those cars, third turn, all those cars wadded up, sliding up the track with sparks flying. It looks so much like the Clash.
That is the 17th of February, looking way too much like the 4th of July.
Amen.
Fireworks everywhere.
Yeah, and it really and truly, it was Paul Menard. He gave DiBenedetto a little shove, but it was on the outside, on the right side, and that just turned the Benedetto into the outside wall, and then it was on from there.
And a different situation than we saw in the clash between Menard and with Jimmy Johnson, but it was a similar thing when we heard the spotter on the 21 Menard say, well, he zigged and we zagged.
And in this case, Menard told his team on the radio, I just bumped him a little too hard.
Yeah, I mean, what are you going to do? It's the end of the race. You're trying to help that guy. You're trying to help DiBenedetto. You're not trying to wreck him, but just bad judgment. Look at that 10 car.
Almirola's number 10.
Look at David Reagan underneath the 10 of Almirola.
David Reagan, see what springs he's running. Look at that.
All those sparks flying.
My gosh.
Man, amazing shots.
And all Almirola wanted was a chance to win it on the last lap.
Yeah, well, he didn't
like last year.
Didn't quite get there. Close.
And I got to believe our two leaders right now, Kyle Busch and Denny Hamlin, were really wanting and hoping to have another Toyota there and DiBenedetto to help them pull off this victory today. Going to be a little bit tougher for them to hold off those Fords, and some Chevys are moving up also.
Amazing camera work by our Fox Sports crew. You're riding with Joey Logano.
just a 12, no run. Keep on, no, keep coming, you're inside, keep coming, come on, get away from him.
Just one too many pushes there, Mike, is what I saw.
Kyle Larson.
Check out, nothing behind us, nothing behind us, nothing behind us, nothing behind us. Okay, lock it down, come right back to the top, keep it rolling, come to the top.
Well, I'm not sure. Okay, here's Austin Dillon's view.
Still middle of 3 here, still middle of 3. Got to spin it here, spin it. God, we're in.
Ouch.
Martin Truex.
Ooh.
I was going to say, I'm not sure which list graphics is putting together, the cars involved in the wreck or the cars that missed it. We'll find out when we come back. Huge pileup near the end of the Daytona 500.
They come into the restart zone. Kyle Larson, the outside. Carl Edwards on the inside. Green flag back in the air. They're blocking. Good go down low. Carl Edwards into the wall. He got tagged by the 22. Big hits by the 19. And the caution comes back out again.
That is exactly what we saw Joey Logano was going to try to do. Big fire of the 78. But that is what we thought was going to happen. Obviously, the wreck isn't what we thought. Martin Truex Jr. needs to get out of this race car.
Very aggressive on the restart. The flames rolling out from underneath the hood of the 78. Red flag comes out. Martin Truex Jr. is out of the car. Huge contact for the 19 of Carl Edwards. First it was the inside wall, then he was hit by another car.
A championship's on the line, Rick. The 22 gets a great restart. The 19 blocks. They make contact. Look at the damage on the 19 car. A couple huge impacts.
And we thought that's what was going to happen. The 22, Joey Logano, has been so good on restarts all night. The 22 gets a big run. Carl sees him coming. He goes to block. 22 does not slow up. Stays in the throttle. Big wreck.
And the 22 really ended up getting a lot better out of that situation because it looked as though Brad Keselowski laid completely off of him, the 22's teammate.
Well, he wanted nothing to do with it. He didn't want anything to do with the accident or the championship battle. But you see the 48's blocking the 2 to the bottom.
And listen, if you're a Carl Edwards fan, you're upset at Joey Logano. If you're a Joey Logano fan, you're upset at Carl Edwards. That right there is Joey Logano being aggressive, making a very, very aggressive move, but he got a good restart. Carl Edwards had no choice but to block. If he doesn't turn left, Joey Logano's next to him entering turn 1. He's in the middle of 3 wide. Worst possible scenario for Carl. Carl turns left, trying to block a championship on the line.
Won't matter.
Wow.
Jimmy Johnson slams the wall in Pocono.
Oh, my.
Break still. Wowzers.
Running 7th. Johnson with a brake problem, and Jamie McMurray has destroyed the right side of his car.
Yeah, he
Whose
heard
brakes
that.
failed? Was
I
it
think
Jimmy
they talked-
Johnson
I think
or was it
it's
Jamie
Johnson.
McMurray?
I don't know, but I don't know. That's a hard hit, boys, I tell you.
They were running 7th and 9th, and it's crash and burn for Jamie McMurray's car. Jimmy Johnson takes a seat. And now fire at the rear of McMurray's car as well as the right front.
I think he knew to bail out of that thing because he got out there and ran away from it.
The 48 Jimmy Johnson, that's right in the braking zone. See, right there.
You see that smoke, yeah. Actually, the right rear. It looked like fire in the right rear.
It did look like a failure in the right rear. He turns left trying to get away from that wall. Heavy impact. the right side. That'll take the wind out of you. Now, what happened here is what we've got to figure out. How did Jamie McMurray get involved?
I don't know how much brake fluid would have come out of that 48 car, but it could be that Jamie Mack hit something from the 48 car.
Or were there any parts or pieces that flew off the 48 car?
That is
That's a wicked hit.
Remember, we're talking 200 mile an hour down into that corner.
When Johnson's car was going sideways, inside the right rear wheel was glowing bright red. You don't often see that on the rear brake.
No, there was some fire coming out. I think McMurray ran over something.
And that may have been brake fluid that caught on fire of those those hot parts on the right rear that we saw was turning red.
All right, we have some audio from Jimmy Johnson's car.
Man, you sure you're all right? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Whew, I got away with one there.
In front right now with the 42. Oh,
whoa,
trouble!
Big crash. Danica Patrick and Joey Logano.
Oh man,
Eric Almirola.
Holy smoly!
Heavy damage there on Danica.
Those cars are killed.
And Almirola piling in at the last second and going up in the air. Patrick
Danica's
quickly out of her car.
Boy, she's out in a hurry.
Woo! No kidding, the thing was on fire.
And looking rather upset. Joey Logano's car is not going to make it back to the garage. Neither is Eric Almirola. The window net down on both of those cars. Signal to the safety crews the driver is okay. Now, Patrick and Logano were 11th and 12th. Almirola was back in 23rd. Cars stopped at the entrance of turn 1.
Let's see what happened here, guys.
Oh man, it looked like the 22 just got loose.
I think that.
Oh man, what a ride that Danica went on.
Danica took a heck of a ride into the wall, and then the 43 just plowed in there.
Yeah, he had nowhere to go. I think he committed to the outside lane. Pretty big impact by the 43. As you could see, Almirola sitting in his car. He hadn't quite gotten out of the car yet.
Eric Jones right behind them, right behind Logano.
Oh, something.
Wow. Something happened on that 22.
Something had to break.
Keep coming here. There you go.
22 violently turned left right into Danica.
Oh, right
front. Yeah, I saw it blow the fender up.
I think that was a brake rotor.
Are you thinking what?
Yeah, and that's why it turned left. I think that disintegrated the right front brake rotor. Right as he went to the brakes, you saw it come through the hood. And what that do? It just turned the car to the left because all it had was left front brake.
It turned it dead left. I know that.
Patrick went for a wild ride and then got pounded again by Almirola.
Mike, remember Joey Logano complained about his brakes early in the race.
Well, he made a nice recovery, Larry. Got himself back up here in the top 10 or 12 and had a pretty good car, looked like. Boy, this is huge right there. Look at that car come up off the ground. That's an impact.
The rear axle almost come out of, or the rear end housing almost come out of that car, the 43.
Now, Almirola was a good 10 spots behind this.
Yeah, he must have thought those cars were going to come down the track. I'm not sure what he was thinking.
See how.
That's big right there, but then what's that?
Yeah, that's why Danica jumped out so fast. Look at all the flames. Big fire there. All she could see was flames. She knew she needed to get out of that car as soon as she possibly could.
Wow.
Just got super loose, or maybe there was some fluids.
Jeff, I saw debris back there. I think Almirola ran over something that prevented him from turning that car down.
Dale Earnhardt Jr. to the bottom of the track. Jr. will win at Daytona. And the big one happens behind them.
Oh my God.
Of Austin Dillon into the catch fence. all the crews getting out to that car to assist these drivers. Thumbs going up from all the crew members, and the crowd roars. Look at the catch fence on the front straight. Crew members pulling. Austin Dillon out, he's walking. The damage to the floor of Kevin Harvick. What an incredible sight to see Austin Dillon walking away from that 3 car that is demolished.
Yeah, the 11 gets kind of stuck in the middle there and comes across the 4's bumper. As he does, he spins back in, gets the 3 airborne, and he just gets projected off the other cars right up into the fence.
He went from the bottom of the racetrack over 2 rows of cars and into that catch fence.
Here we go. You can see him on the bottom. Rex starts in front. He runs in the back of the 24. Gets up on the 11. Now he's on top of the 55. And now it's just along for the ride.
Yeah,
watch the car stop. Watch the car stop. It gets into those poles, and it goes from, I don't know what, 180, 190 miles an hour. I'm just guessing, to a complete stop. That is unbelievable.
And it looks like a toy. That's 3,500 pounds. That stock car is extremely heavy. You see here, after he's upside down, the 2 is spinning. Obviously, he's already lost control, makes more contact with the 3.
11 and the 4 to get together. Here we are at the start-finish line.
It just pushes the 3 up into the air enough that it rolls over the top of a car. And then that momentum just continues to move him into the catch fence. Hang on, this will be a wild ride. That was Tony Stewart going underneath the 3. And here was the response from Austin Dillon. After he got out, pulled the helmet off. The crowd was roaring at this point in time.
Ryan Newman off turn 4 for the final time. Blaney to the outside, to the inside. Here comes Hamlin up the outside.
Wow.
Crash into the wall, into the air goes Newman.
Upside down.
In a shower of sparks on his roof, Ryan Newman comes across the line, 4th, and comes to rest. Scoring unofficial between Hamlin and Blaney as far as who crossed the finish line first. Newman got turned, went up in the air. As he came down, was hit by another car and launched skyward, coming down on his roof. The AMR safety team is there quickly to attend to Ryan Newman.